Good morning, good morning, good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Morning Devotion with Pastor Jew. Welcome to Morning Devotion with Pastor Jew. So this morning we are concluding as you all come on in, tap, tap, heart, love. As you all come on in, tap, tap, heart, love. I have on a coat and a hoodie because it's raining outside and it's cold in here. And where my home office sits, the area is right by the window. So it's chilly. So first and foremost, be careful. It's wet outside. It's gonna be raining for a couple days. It's gonna be wet. So make sure you have all the things that you need. Try not to go in the streets if you don't have to. Be safe. You know how those heavy rains can be challenging for drivers. We want everyone to be safe. Listen, also this Sunday is a big Sunday for us. It's a big Sunday for us. We are doing um, it's not an ordination, but we are recognizing one of our ministers this Sunday. We need everyone to be present. I know it's cold outside and it might be a little chilly, it might be a little drizzly on Sunday morning, but I need y'all in the house. I need y'all to be there. It's a very special Sunday, a very special Sunday. So it is an ordination of sorts. We don't call it an ordination, but it is a recognizing a ministry call and certification. And so make sure you join us Sunday, 9 a.m. So you don't miss this very special. It's a very special moment in the history of Word of Encouragement Church. And I don't want to give away too much, but it's a significant day in the history of Word of Encouragement Church, in the history of our church. Okay, so we need you all to join us. Come join us. Those that watch virtually, come log on in. But everyone invites someone to church on Sunday. So that's that. Uh, and today is we wrap up our series on a shaking. I'm just going to share with you other scriptures. We talked yesterday about that. There are other scriptures that talk about earthquakes and shaking in the Bible, right? There are others. And also as you all come on in, tap, tap, heart, love, shout with your followers. Tap, tap, heart, love, shout with your followers. And so I'm going to go through some scriptures real quick. And I know we have our trusted scribes on the line, so maybe they'll help us by putting some of the scriptures in the chat as we go through them or read them off. I'm not going to read them all. This is your homework. Good morning. Hey, hey, hey. As you all come on in, tap, tap, heart, love, share with your followers. Also, if you're able, give us some stars. That lets the algorithm know that we are a worthy, live broadcast for people to tune into. Also, I was going to say one other thing. So everybody join us Sunday. It's a big day in the history of Word of Encouragement Church. Also, like and share, put your notifications on, hit some stars. Make sure you drive careful these next day or two. It's got a lot of rain coming down, and so let's get into it this morning. Okay, so Luke 21:11. Luke 21:11. Revelations 11:13. Matthew 24:7. I'm going to go really slow. Luke 21:11. Revelations 11:13. Matthew 24:7. Mark 13:8. Revelation again 16:18. Matthew 28:2. Isaiah 29:6. Zechariah 14:5. Haggai 2:6. Psalm 62. And Hebrews 12:26. But here's where I want us to go into this morning, which is Isaiah 29:6. And it says, "You will be visited by the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquakes and great noise. with whirlwind and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. And what I want to offer again, and thank you, Stacey, for putting these up. What I want to offer, oh, you know what? Maybe I can, let me see. I might be able to cut and paste. Let me see if I can cut and paste these. I'll try to do that. Y'all. I just thought about it. I'll try to do that. Let me see if I can put these from my document. I think I can do that also. So, whatever ones you're able to get. But what I want us to focus on this morning is Isaiah. Oh, thank you. Isaiah 29:6. And here's why. Because Isaiah 29:6 lets us know. He says, you will be visited by the Lord, right? And one of the ways we are visited by the Lord is through earthquakes, thunders, and earthquakes. And so when we've been talking about a shaking. Can you repeat them? I can. We've been talking about a shaking. You know what? I can put them in the chat. Let me get to the lesson real quick because it's going to be short. We're wrapping up this series. We've been talking about a shaking, and that when Paul and Silas were in prison and they were praying and praising, the Lord responds with an earthquake. And the shaking is God's response. And part of what we've been driving home, the message, is that it is in the shaking that God does speak. God speaks in the shaking. Now, the text is referring to Isaiah 29:6. Thank you. That's what we're looking at today. Refers to the literal shaking, right? And there could be, and even in Revelations, it talks about earthquakes. And so that is part of the judgment, right? But also, God is speaking through the shaking. So when we say a shaking is coming, we are preparing for things to be shaken. But it is not God giving us over to the hands of the enemy. The shaking is God speaking through that. Whether it is to get our attention, whether it is to, it's in the shaking God speaks, right? Whether it's to get our attention, whether it is to respond, God's answer, get me out of prison, let me shake the foundation so your chains come off and you can get out, right? So God does speak through the shaking. And so, again, we've been driving home the point, and I just want to lift up Isaiah 29, that part of how God shows up is in the shaking. When our lives feel the shaking, go through a shaking, that is God speaking. That is God getting our attention. That is God opening up a door. That is God making a move. That is God moving on our behalf. That is God settling some things. That is God pouring out justice and judgment, right? That is still God. And so when I released the word, there's a shaking coming, God showed me in a very clear vision that there will be a shaking coming. But it is not to harm, it is not to hurt, but it is for God to respond. And what is God responding to? He's responding to the cries of people. He's responding to the prayers of the prayer warriors. He's responding to the cries of people that have been oppressed. He is responding to a people that is seeking to hear him, seeking to see him move, seeking to hear his voice. He's responding. He's responding. And so we don't get afraid, prepared, but not afraid. Cautious, paying attention, but not afraid. Because when things begin to shake up, the question is, God, what do you say? Where do you want my attention? What do you need me to, how is this for me? What is your word to me in the midst of this? But it is not to hurt or to harm. He's responding. And sometimes God is responding to injustice through the shaking. Let me shake things up because the way they doing my children. And sometimes the shaking is to get our attention, and other times the shaking, right, prepared but not afraid. It is to release and to open up and to let it be known his voice is being inserted in this moment. Isaiah said we were visited to him, visited by the Lord in these ways. All right? So I got to edit it. I got to see how I can put these scriptures in here for you, because my document was set up in the way my document was set up. I have to reformat it. Oh, maybe I could just do it like this. Okay. I don't know if the comments will let me. Let me see. Let me see if it'll let me do. I'm going to do 6 at a time. Let's see if it'll let that happen. I think so. No, it's let me put it in there in the so you all can go back through them and reflect and read on your own. And all the ways God shows up in the shaking. All the ways God shows up in the shaking. But it's not to hurt or harm, it's to prepare. When God gave me the vision, it was a very clear vision that shaking is coming. There will be a shaking. There is a shaking. There's a shaking happening, and there will be a shaking. And again, it's metaphoric, right? And it, there could, we're in California. It could be an earthquake any given time, but it's more metaphoric in messaging. Be prepared to understand that when things begin to shake up, it is God. So we don't make the mistake of attributing it to Satan or demonic or a spiritual attack. It is God. And the question is, God, what are you saying? What are you doing through the shaking? But God is also allowing the shaking to come because it's a response to people praying. It's in response to people crying out to God. It's in response to the oppressed saying, when are we going to get free? It's in response to the righteous of God whose prayers are availing much. Whose prayers are availing much. And God says, I'm going to answer. But my answer is going to be in shaking some things up. And again, we get excited because we know God is making a move on behalf of God's people. He's making a move on behalf of people that have been crying, calling out for God to move. So there will be a shaking. But we are preparing. We are prepared. We're listening. We're paying attention. We are praying. We are fasting. We are staying focused. Remaining steadfast and unmovable and unshakable. Amen. Amen. So those are the scriptures that, some additional scriptures you can look at today or tomorrow over the weekend. This is your weekend homework. Read those. All the ways that God shows up, speaks through the shaking. And then we'll be back Monday morning with a new series. All right? Listen, I need everybody to join us on Sunday. It's a big day in the history of Word of Encouragement Church. It's a big day in the history of Word of Encouragement Church. We are acknowledging one of our lay ministers, and he's got family and friends coming, and we want all the church to be there. It's a big day. So join us, all right? And it might be a little drizzly. Just leave a little early. Get an umbrella. Put your galoshes on. It's just water. It's just water. All right? All right, y'all. See y'all. Have a great day. And we'll be back on tomorrow for our pre-worship word. Peace.